You are listening to the Lose Weight for the Last Time podcast with Laura Conley. Hey, babes, what's up? Okay, we are doing something a little extra special. We're doing a listen party for those of you that wanted to join in for School of Skinny, but life got in the way. Life was just lifing. So here is day one. You are going to love day one because we talk about how to create a custom plan that is designed for you and why having a plan matters, especially if you're somebody who hates plans, right? So this is for you if you love plans or you hate plans. So without further ado, here is day one of School of Skinny, and stay tuned for day 3, day 4, day 5. We are dropping them hot every single day for the next 5 days. And if you start picking up what I'm putting down in the School of Skinny, I want to encourage you to go ahead and book a call at lauraconley.com/lose. You can book a call so that you can see if you are the right fit to lose weight for the last time inside the Yummy Mummy experience. We are kicking off next week and your weight loss is guaranteed. So hurry over to lauraconley.com/lose. On our call, you're also going to be introduced to something I've never done ever before. You are going to be introduced to a new way that you can work with me, which is a much lower commitment. You will be able to kind of test things out within the Yummy Mummy. So go on and book your call and enjoy day one. All right, y'all. Getting that started. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Zoom because I'm fancy like that. I'm so excited. Okay, say hi to me. Welcome to day one, School of Skinny. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you guys. So as everybody was just joining, I was just saying, what if? What if you could just lean into the possibility, maybe even the inevitability of this could be the first day of the rest of your life? Because this whole School of Skinny, the whole idea is not that you just get skinny. The idea is that you lose weight for the last time and you live your big, beautiful, awesome, precious one life. One life. Okay, so welcome. Tell me hi. Tell me where you're from. Okay, so it is day one. We're going to dive in. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about what you can expect, and then we're going to get into the content for day one. You guys can ask any questions that you might have. I am here to be your coach, your teacher. I should have worn my teacher glasses. Your coach, your teacher for this entire week. Okay. So let me give you guys a little bit of an intro of who the heck I am and are you in the right place? Okay. So my name is Laura Conley. I am a life and weight loss coach. My clients have sort of labeled me as the fun weight loss coach, which I think is super fun and super true. So I have actually been a coach for just about 12, 13 years at this point. I niched down to coach on weight loss almost 7 years ago. After I had my daughter, I really had this strong conviction come over me that I didn't want to pass down my diet drama, my food drama, my relationship with my body to my daughter, my brand new baby. So I went on a mission to crack the code that I thought there was no code for. I had really accepted defeat. I really had thought this is just going to be how I am for the rest of my life. I'm just going to be yo-yoing for the rest of my life. I'm just going to be gaining and losing the same pounds, trying keto, trying Weight Watchers, trying everything, and then inevitably throwing in the towel. It was a horrible cycle. Not fun. Waste of my life. So when I had my daughter, I went on that mission, and I'm here today standing to tell you that I really did crack the code. I kind of can't believe it, and I'm going to share that with you because I have that same level of conviction that I had when I looked down at my 6-week-old daughter, and I knew I had to solve this once and for all. I knew, okay, if I can figure out all these other things in life, if I could be successful in all these other areas, then I have to be able to figure this out too. And so it really was through a blend of my background and some trainings that I did as well, through a blend of Eastern philosophy and Western psychology that I created the Yummy Mummy method, which is the code. It is the holy grail to weight loss and whatever is your why. And we're going to talk about that this week. Why do you even want to lose weight? Because who cares unless there's something behind it, right? So is it because you want to get up excited? You want to actually want to get dressed? Is it because you want to be present with your family? Is it because you want to say yes to the water slide? Is it because you're just so sick of the chatter? Is it because maybe you know there's more for you on the other side and you're spending so much time and energy and probably money on solving this problem and not actually solving it when you could be, I don't know, playing Uno with your kids, writing your book, whatever it is. There's more for you than this silly diet drama. And I want to offer too that this is not your fault. If you are here today, it's not your fault. We're trapped, right? Like my tagline is free the moms, because this is a trap. Diet culture is a trap. This is the air that we breathe. It is impossible for us to grow up in this culture and not get sick and not have the food chatter. It is impossible for us to love our bodies, given the images that we see, the conditioning, the socializing. So it is, I want to shake you and be like, it's not your fault. And it is your responsibility and your right to change this if you want to change it. Okay. So you are in the right place if you want to lose weight for the last time, become free from all the food chatter, pass a legacy down to your kids that you are proud of, actually love your body and love the way that you talk to yourself. I know so many of my clients are just sick of the rhetoric inside their brains. And some of you guys don't even know you do it. You just kind of feel this low level, like gray cloud following you around. Yeah, probably because you're beating yourself up all of the time. Okay, so let me know if this is resonating. Just pop a 1 in the Q&A or a 1 in the comments. Let me know, like, are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, because I want to have a pulse on what's going on for you guys out there in the audience. Okay, so yes, you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. If you guys have any questions at all, just throw them in there. I will have a dedicated time at the end of our call so that you guys can ask any questions, but sometimes I answer them throughout. I'm like pretty casual, pretty informal, but I pack a mean punch when it comes to the content that you are going to learn today. Okay. So day 1, School of Skinny. So let me just kind of set the container for you guys. Every single day, we are going to meet here on Zoom or Instagram Live, doesn't matter. And we are going to learn a skill. Remember, the reason you haven't lost weight for the last time is because you haven't been taught the skill of permanent weight loss. That is it. That is the only reason, okay? It's not because you're broken. It's not because you should know better by now. It's not because you need to do just a harder workout or 2 a days, or you need to increase your fasting window, right? It's not because you just haven't found the perfect diet. It's not because you don't do 10,000 steps. It's not because you're not hitting a protein goal of 120 grams. No, you don't weigh what you want to weigh and permanently because you have not been taught the skills that I'm going to teach you here. The skills are based in mindfulness, mindset, neuroplasticity, emotional intelligence, habit change at the root, accountability, fun, and love. Seriously. Okay? That's the secret sauce. So, all right. Day 1, we are going to create a plan for you. Now, when I say the word plan, what does your brain say? Well, like, let's play like word association. So when I say we're going to have a plan, like during this 5-day challenge, where we're going to meet every day at 10 a.m. Mountain, so that's 9 a.m. Pacific, and then, what is that? Yeah, 12 p.m. Eastern, we're going to meet. And then after our call, I'm going to send you an email with your homework. This is school. You need to do your homework, okay? So the first day we are dedicated to making a plan. But I want to hear, when I say plan, are you excited or are you like, ew, sounds like a diet? Like, no. What are you guys thinking? What do you guys think? When I say plan, what does your brain say? I love a plan. I'm like a recovering type A person, but when I say plan, what comes? Yes. Ooh, diet. Oh, yes, excites me. So what comes up for you guys when I say that word plan? Okay. So here's the thing. We're approaching the plan differently. Just did a podcast about this because now here's the deal. You are going to do a plan in a way that you've never done it before. It's completely different than anything you've done, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But the way that I teach weight loss is by using the scientific method. Do you guys remember the scientific method? See, it's like school. The scientific method, I'll teach it to you guys again. Okay. My husband would make fun of me because I probably don't do it as well as he does. He is a formally trained PhD scientist, blah, blah, blah. Chemist. Okay. So the scientific method is you create a hypothesis and then you go out and you test the hypothesis and you collect clean data and then you analyze it and say, oh, is this working? No. So we need a hypothesis in the first place. Okay. Because otherwise this so much of diet drama is nothing is working. I've tried everything. Nothing works. It's so unfair, but we're not even actually really doing the plan in the first place. It's so interesting. Okay, so we actually need a plan to know whether what we are doing is working or not working, right? We need actual data. And then we can analyze that and we can iterate from there. We can test and retest. So the goal is that you lose weight for the last time. The hypothesis is that if you balance your hunger hormones, what are hunger hormones? Hunger hormones are insulin, leptin, and ghrelin. If you balance your hunger hormones, you will lose weight for the last time. It's that simple. But how? So some of you guys actually are liking the plan in the Q&A, right? So I'm going to teach you how to balance your hunger hormones. Okay. So don't worry about that. But the hypothesis is if you balance your hunger hormones, I don't know about this hair day, you guys. If you balance your hunger hormones, you will lose weight for the last time. Okay. So again, like I said, your hunger hormones are insulin, leptin, and ghrelin. For the latest stat I saw was that 94% of Americans have an imbalance in their hunger hormones. No wonder it feels impossible to lose weight. I was just telling my marketing director today, I was like, God, when I lost weight for the last time, I was like so pleasantly surprised. Every day I'd step on the scale and I'd be losing weight. And I'd be so surprised because the day before I wasn't hangry or hungry. I was eating normal foods. I was eating normal amounts and losing weight because my hunger hormones were balanced. So for the first time, I lost weight without starving myself. Prior to that, the only way I could ever get myself to lose weight was like literal starvation. Okay. So when your hunger hormones are imbalanced, you're riding this big blood sugar roller coaster. You go up and then you crash, up and then you crash. It's like the worst way to live because you're hungry a lot. Your energy stores are on a roller coaster. You're probably hangry. You're probably snapping at your kids, not to mention all of the health implications that are there. And you also don't weigh what you want, right? So, hi, you guys. So good to see you. Oh, you can just chat in the Q&A, Joe. You can just chat in the Q&A. So just chat in the Q&A and just tell me what's up. Okay. So we are going to balance your hunger hormones. You guys are going to get to pick what you want to do because here's the deal with a plan that works for weight loss. I cannot prescribe anything to you because if I prescribe something to you, you will rebel. Okay. You will not follow through. You might for like a week or two or a month or 2 months. But eventually, if you don't have buy-in because you're a human being, you will rebel. So you have to be the one picking your plan. And the reason you need a plan, you plan to fail, you fail the plan. I'm not kidding, right? And I'm not saying we're going to be perfectionistic about this plan. We're not. We're not going to be black and white. We're not going to throw in the towel if and when we make mistakes, okay? So how do you balance your hunger hormones? Instead of being on this big blood sugar roller coaster, you get on a nice even rolling hill of your blood sugar and your insulin and therefore your leptin and ghrelin, okay? If you guys are like really itching for the science, I can go deeper, but I like to keep it a little bit high level for these challenges. Okay. Inside the Yummy Mummy, I go deep into the science. If you want it, it's there. Okay. I'm just checking the chat or the Q&A. So the options that you get to pick from, now you don't have to pick from these options. If you know a better way to lose weight, a better way to balance your hunger hormones, then you can do it your way. Okay. But for our challenge, to give you some structure from which you can pick from, I'm going to give you a couple different ideas, options, and then you get to kind of make your own plan. I'll send you guys to today what I call perfect weight loss plan PDF. So if you want me, just via PDF, to hold your hand through this process, I will do that on the Create Your Perfect Plan. Okay. So I want you to you can pick all of the things. I'm going to give you 5 different things that you can pick from to create your plan. Each and every one of these 5 things will help you to balance your hunger hormones and therefore lose weight. Okay. So option 1, no processed sugar. And if you start to freak out, I'm going to coach you through it. Okay. That's where a lot of the mindset work and the emotional intelligence work and the habit change comes in. If you're like, oh my God, no, sugar is my favorite. I'm obsessed, whatever. We can talk through it. I also have most of my clients still do what we call a Yummy Mummy Munchie. So once a week, they still have their favorite sugary thing or whatever, right? It's almost impossible to balance your hunger hormones when you are eating processed sugar. It just is, right? This was a food that was really honestly invented so that we would become addicted to it. And yeah, it feels like a drug, doesn't it? It's because it is a drug. You get those crazy cravings. Okay. So option 1, I'll put this, I can put this in the Q&A. Option 1 is no sugar. So that's one thing you can pick from. No sugar. No flour. Okay, so people are like, what's flour? It's flour. Flour. And people are like, well, if I have no sugar, no flour, what am I going to eat? There's hundreds of foods. We can come up with them together. Don't worry. So many foods that don't have sugar or flour in them. And again, these are foods that have been created in the last, couple hundred years. We've survived for millennia without these foods. It's fascinating. Okay. But ultra processed foods keep us not weighing what we want, sluggish, slow, just energetically, little sick, right? When you are in that 94% and you're not metabolically flexible, metabolically healthy, when your hunger hormones are not balanced, your risk factors, and this isn't to scare you, this is just to inspire you and share some of the data. Your risk factors for lifestyle diseases like metabolic disease, like Alzheimer's, like certain cancers, I could go on, like heart disease, skyrockets. So if you want to live a long, prosperous life, if you want to live a life of vitality and radiance and fun and enjoyment, if you want to go out on your deathbed with a bang, this is what you want. Also, let's rock the bikini and the cute little romper and feel amazing about ourselves on a day-to-day, but let's also set ourselves up for the best lives ever, for longevity, for dancing at our children's wedding, for playing pickleball with our grandkids, okay? You guys, let's set ourselves up for success. Also, for those of you that are approaching menopause, you have to have your hunger hormones dialed in or you're totally screwed. Again, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to help you and set you up for success, okay? So these are little wise or compelling reasons that you can pull from, some of mine. Okay, so no sugar, no flour, or you can say sugar-free. I'm going sugar-free or flour-free if that feels more spacious to you. Then no, right? No sugar, no flour, because it feels restrictive, right? It's not restrictive. The way you're thinking about it is restrictive. Or you can decide it's restrictive, but that just feels so tight in my body and I hate that. Again, we're going to talk about that as we move on. Okay, so no sugar, no flour, 3 meals a day. I like to say like 3 meals a day / like no snacks. No eats after 8 p.m. or you can fill in another time. I find that that's where a lot of emotional eating can happen and, really get us off course. Okay, so no sugar, no flour, 3 meals a day, no eats after 8. Oops. And then let's say no snacks. So snacks are also a time when we are typically emotionally eating, okay? So I just put this in a Q&A. So Jody, that's going to be up to you. Oh, did that go? Okay, it puts it in the answers. No sugar, no flour, 3 meals a day, no eats after 8, no snacks. Okay, or you could say snack free. Okay, so Jody said, does no flour include options like almond flour? So this is going to be up to you, right? So I love to teach my clients to use the lowest, most effective dose, right? Like, why would you take 4 Advil when 2 Advil is going to work, right? Like, what if just no sugar alone would get you to your dream come true weight, to your happy weight? Why not do that? Picking up what I'm putting down, you guys? So now, on the other hand, I like to contradict myself in this role. Because if you're like, I'm ready, I'm motivated, I want to balance the shit out of my hunger hormones, I want to live till I'm 95, I want to be scuba diving when I'm 92, I want to live my biggest, best, bold life, and I want to feel good in my body, you guys. These bodies are our homes. Can you imagine if you hated your home? It's brutal. It sucks. Right? You guys know the difference when you have a clean home versus a cluttered home. I skip around the world when my house is organized and clean. Literally, I'm just skipping around the world. It's the same with your body. When you feel like you're eating clean and you're speaking to yourself lovingly and you love your relationship with yourself, you're skipping around life. I mean, maybe you're not a skipper. Maybe you're like a galloper or a power walker, or whatever. My point is, this is your one precious life and your one precious home. Let's treat it with love so that you get to feel how you want to feel in this world, in this life, okay? So, no sugar, no flour, 3 meals a day, no eats after 8 p.m., no snacks. So again, Jody is saying no flour. Does that include almond flour? Again, up to you. I want you to actually go through when you are saying to yourself, no processed sugar. Okay, am I going to keep stevia? I would say yes, keep stevia. You might say, am I going to keep honey? Am I going to keep maple syrup? Maple syrup and honey will also spike your blood sugar and spike your hunger hormones and leave you with a crash. It's a triple whammy because when it spikes your blood sugar, it also spikes insulin. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. It's going to cue your body to store excess fat, and it's not going to let you in that 2-hour-ish period. It's going to block you from releasing the fat on your body. And then it's also leaving you with a crash where you're hangry. You're not truly physically hungry. You're just getting that blood sugar crash. It makes you feel hungry, but you actually don't need food in that moment. Fascinating, right? So it's a triple whammy when you spike your blood sugar and your insulin. It's cueing your body to store fat. It's blocking the release of the current fat, and you're getting a crash, okay? This is why I'm so passionate about blood sugar balance and hunger hormone balance. People will be like, do I need to test my blood? You do not need to test your blood. You're going to feel it. You are going to know when your hunger hormones are balanced, because when they're balanced, your cravings disappear. Literally. It is magic, you guys. I literally can't believe not everybody is teaching this. This is like the secret sauce. That's why I'm so crazy and psychotic and passionate about this, because this is the best kept secret, right? So you can come in to the Yummy Mummy and you can eat all the foods and weigh what you want. It's just so much easier when you give up processed foods like sugar and flour. And those are the main ones. When you give up processed and ultra processed foods, it's just easy. My clients say all the damn time, this is the easiest thing I've ever done to lose weight. And it's permanent. It's easier. So you can keep the sugar and the flour, but I promise you, it's easier to just rip the Band-Aid off. I don't even want sugar and flour, okay? So Yeah, so ultimately it's up to you. Like, Jody, for you, if it feels really hard to give up almond flour, then don't give it up. Test and retest. We're not in a rush. I know, crazy, right? You guys, we want to find a plan that you can do forever. Is that crazy? Like, what happens in maintenance? I'm like, nothing. We just keep doing what we're doing. And that is a huge issue in diet culture. And that is a huge reason as to why you don't weigh what you want. It's because everyone is teaching you that there's an end date. There is no end date on your health. No end date here. 75 hard, 21 day fix, whole 30. No, it's called Yummy Yummy Forever. The deal is, though, we do it in such a way that's so fun, so enjoyable, that you actually, like my clients say to me too, they're like, I don't want to eat the way I used to eat. That sucked. That was horrible. Like, I don't, like some of my clients, they go on vacation, they'll cut and they'll be eating all the things on vacation. It's totally fine. There's room for that. They'll come back and they're like, I cannot wait to get back on my plan. I literally, it just feel disgusting. I'm not kidding you guys. This is the way. This is the answer. Okay. What else did I want to tell you guys? Yeah, so I do contradict myself sometimes because I'm like, start with lowest, most effective dose. And also, if you're like rearing to go and you want the momentum, you can choose all 5 of these things. Okay. So again, go through, like decide ahead of time. Like for me, it's okay if there's like a tiny bit of sugar in a dressing when I'm out to dinner. Now, I'm not ordering the raspberry vinaigrette that's going to have 15 grams of sugar. Also, I don't like raspberry vinaigrette, but whatever, get my point, right? But I'm not going to like freak out. We're living in the land of and of both. We're living in the land of like, let's do our best instead of like, it has to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, then what is the point anyways? And I'm just going to eat the entire bag of pita chips followed by the pint of ice cream. No, we are doing spacious, fun, light energy. Okay. So I want you guys starting to think about what your plan is going to be. Okay. So no sugar, no flour, 3 meals a day, no eats after 8, no snacks. What do you want to, you can pick 2 of the 5, you can pick 5 of the 5, you can pick 1 of the 5, you can pick 0 of the 5, pick your own plan. Those are the things. It's up to you how big, quote unquote, or small, quote unquote, you want to start. There's no right or wrongs. You don't get in trouble. You don't get like a gold star if you pick 5 out of 5. Okay. You don't get like an F if you pick 0. Okay. What questions do you guys have so far? Oh, this is so great. Okay. Hardings. I think that's your name, Hardings. Well, keeping things like rice, corn, and potatoes in my plan slow down weight loss. So it's up to you. How quickly do you want to lose weight? We are not in a rush. We're doing this forever. I always like to tell my clients, like, the when is none of your business. But rice, corn, and potatoes spike insulin and blood sugar in most people. Okay? But rice, corn, and potatoes are whole foods. I really want all of us to get back to a whole foods diet. That is the way our bodies were made to eat. They're made to eat whole foods, okay? So they're made to chew the foods. They're made to digest the foods. Our bodies are not made to eat artificial drugs, right? I also want to be very clear, sugar and flour are not bad. They're not bad or wrong or any of that. No. But big food figured out a way to make a shit ton of money, and they're literally preying on us, right? We are victims to this big food system. Not mad at them. It's not wrong or bad. It's capitalism at play. I'm literally not. But what I want to do is inspire you to make decisions for you, to be the one in the driver's seat, to decide what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and how to weigh what you want, how to be in charge of your health, your weight, your body. Oh, it's the best thing I could possibly teach, okay? So, yes, I do think if you move away from rice, corn, potatoes, you'll lose weight faster, but is that the goal? That's up to you to decide, right? Maybe you're like, I'm good at 1 pound a week. I'm good at 2 pounds a week. I'm good at 0.5 pounds a week. It depends. So how I would ask you, Hardings, I think that's your name. what's the wubby factor on the rice, potatoes, and corn, right? Like for me, I actually don't. Well, I do love sushi. So I eat sushi and I eat the rice with the sushi. But like, to be honest with you, I don't love rice, corn, or potatoes. For a good French fry, sure, love it, right? But I'm not like super psyched about rice, corn, and potatoes. It's pretty easy for me, especially because I've done all the emotional work and all the mental work, right? So if you feel like you have a 10 out of 10 on the wubby factor, like they're your wubbies, like they're your like little binkies, your blankie, then don't get rid of them for right now. If it's an easy ask, then why the hell not, right? If it's low-hanging fruit, then go for it. Yeah, Carrie, I can, inside the Yummy Mummy, oh, my boob's just hanging out. Inside the Yummy Mummy, we do give lists. But I actually don't teach meal prep. I teach you guys a system and a process that makes it like really stupid easy for you. If you needed a meal plan or lists, if that was the answer, like I'll give them to you all day long. If that was the answer to your weight problems, your food chatter problems, your body love problems, then you would have solved it by now. The reason you don't weigh what you want to weigh is because of your thinking and your feeling. That's why we have to do the mindset work, the emotional work, the neuroplasticity work, the deep root work, right? The Yummy Mummy and the School of Skinny, you guys remember the definition of skinny, right? Weighing what you want and feeling fucking amazing in your body. That's the definition of skinny, right? This is the shit you can't Google. The stuff that you are going to be learning this week, the methodology I teach is AI is not going to share that with you. They do not have it. You cannot Google it. But how many apps are there on like sample meal plans, food lists? You can Google them all day long. You can even Google, there's apps where you can put in, I don't eat sugar and flour, and they'll pop out bazillion recipes at you. So Hardings, I'm curious. I want to put it back on you. Can you tell me how high-hanging or low-hanging fruit is giving up rice, corn, and potatoes? Totally up to you if you want to give them up. What's the wubby factor? If you give up all three of those, is that going to make you feel really deprived? Is that going to be like really hard and restrictive for you? Or is it going to be spacious and easy for you? Your plan, you guys, this is really important, should be doable. Okay, Carrie, you're asking about supplements. She says, what about supplements that help craving? What supplements? Tell me specifically what supplements. I don't think you need those supplements, is my short answer. I think you need to balance your hunger hormones, and then you won't have the cravings. The cravings go poof. You guys, it's like organic Ozempic. Shit I'm teaching in here. The way, like the GLP-1s essentially are balancing your hunger hormones. Okay, but you can do it naturally. Seriously. It's just a matter of, do you want to do it naturally? I'm like, yeah, let's do it naturally. Okay, let's see. What other questions you guys have? I'm getting so many good questions. This is so fun. Okay, keep the questions pouring in. Don't hesitate to pop a question in. And if you're with me on Zoom and you want to raise your hand and get really super brave, then what I can do is bring you onto the screen and I can coach you. Like if you're like, I have like 8 questions, or like, there is this one thing that really got me hung up. Okay. So you guys remember, it's important that these plans are doable for you, that the wubby factor isn't like I'm not taking your wubby away without replacing it. Okay. So let's keep answering some questions. These are so freaking good. But today the deal is we get our plans made. Now remember, when you do your homework that I'm going to give you guys after today's call, when you do it by midnight tomorrow night, you get entered into a raffle for a prize. Every day there's going to be prizes, okay? It's going to be so great. What else did I want to tell you? Something before I answer those questions. So you will get homework, which today is going to be pick your plan, and then I want you to pick a thought. I'll talk about this in a minute too. I want to answer some of the questions. A thought, a sentence in your brain, that's what a thought is, that you are going to think about your plan. Because sometimes if we don't pre-program our brains will be like, oh, this isn't going to work. This is just another diet, right? And then we feel defeated. or disappointed and we throw in the towel. Okay. So let's see. Marlene is saying, I started cutting sugar and flour last month and found myself drinking lots of diet soda. Should I try having it once a week or slowly wean off or go cold turkey on the diet soda? Is that what you're asking about? So we don't do like purist thinking inside the Yummy Mummy. There's room for diet soda. So if diet soda is like a 10 out of 10 on the Wubby Factor, it's like your favorite thing. I'm like, keep it for right now. Like you just gave up sugar and flour. Like keep it. It's not the worst thing ever. I know on social media, they demonize it. They villainize it. It's really not the worst thing ever, especially if you have longer term plans to move away from it. Yeah. So maybe you start, like you're saying, Marlene, with it like every other day. Okay. We got, so Carrie, you need to go to lauraconley.com/school and sign up for this school. And I'll send you everything that you need to know. This is every single day. Go to lauraconley.com/school, sign up. This is every single day at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. I would love to have you there. Okay. And you can join the Facebook. Okay. Let's see what other questions. Yeah. So Carrie says, I met food lists. This is so great, Carrie. I met food lists and sample plans to have structure instead of just winging it. Exactly. Okay, this is so great. So once you make your plan, you can start. So I'm going to have you guys will see tomorrow. We're going to start our journaling practice tomorrow. And in your journaling practice, you're not going to be winging it. You're going to be starting to think about what do I want to eat tomorrow? Now, some people like to wing it, and that's fine. Here's what I'm going to teach you, that no matter what, in any food situation, let's pretend you had a crazy hectic week or you had a bit of a family drama or shit hit the fan at work, right? And you didn't get a chance to go grocery shopping. You can still follow your plan. This is where some of that coaching around mindset and emotions comes in and comes in hot. Because what'll happen is so many of us throw in the towel because we're like, oh, I didn't meal prep. I don't have everything I need. I can't honor my plan. Oh well, it's BS. It's your lower brain getting clever. Your lower brain's job is to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Do you want to know what's pleasurable for your brain? Sugar and flour. Eating when it wants to eat. Eating when it's not hungry. Eating when it's bored. Eating when it wants to procrastinate. Eating when the party's not that fun and it wants to make it more fun. Your lower brain loves processed food. It loves sugar and flour. So your brain's job is to seek pleasure. Your brain, nothing is wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with your brain. This is your lower brain, the motivational triad. It's how we got to where we are from an evolution standpoint. We just haven't evolved out of our lower brain yet. So here we are in 2024. We actually don't need our lower brains to screw with us as much as they do. You're like, well, but there's nothing in the fridge. I guess I didn't meal prep. I didn't go to the grocery store. I guess we're just going to have to eat pasta for lunch, right? And so, yeah, I don't want you to wing it if you don't want to wing it. I love planning, obviously. I love Instacart, but I love grab and go things for sure. So my point is you want to plan if you like to plan, but you also want to have a backup plan and a backup plan and a backup plan, because otherwise your brain's going to come in and it's going to be like, oh, we don't have any food, but we do have pasta. We could just eat the ice cream. It's fine. Just this one time. We're not prepared. So, what are we going to do? So your lower brain job is to seek pleasure. What's pleasurable? Pasta, ice cream. Its other job is to avoid pain. Oops. Oh my God, my screen's going crazy. Its other job is to avoid pain. What's painful? Only at the beginning of the Yummy Mummy method, only at the beginning of the School of Skinny. It's a little painful to say no thank you to yourself. It is. I'll give it to you guys. It's a little painful to be like, no, I'm sorry, right? Like think of your 2-year-old. Think of your 4-year-old. Think of your kids. It's painful for them when you say no to the popsicle. It sucks. That's what your lower brain is. It's a toddler brain. It's a literal toddler brain. It is. So You need to be the one in control, not your lower brain. Now, the other kind of crazy kicker here is that your lower brain also doesn't understand that food is readily available. It thinks that we still live in caves and that food is not readily available. It thinks, oh, I better eat all of this food because I don't know the next time I'm going to get the next kill when I eat for 72 hours, right? So your lower brain doesn't understand that food is readily available all of the time. So remember, I want you to start adopting the belief and the mindset that in any situation, you can find something that's on your plan. In any situation, there's always something that you can hack or create. And if you're like, I don't know about this, tell it to me because that's an obstacle and we can create a strategy for any obstacle that comes up around your plan. We're going to work on that later this week too. Okay. Let's see. Oh my God, my brother's here. What's up? Okay. So also, Hardings is saying you didn't mention intermittent fasting. Is that a good tool to use? Yes. So if you are to end up coming into the Yummy Mummy experience, that is another offering that I'll give you on what I call like the plan platter, right? So I don't just give you 5 options inside the Yummy Mummy. I give you like 10 or 12 options of things that you can pick that will help you balance your hunger hormones and therefore lose weight for the last time. Okay. So intermittent fasting, in my opinion, is a great tool. Now, if you have tried intermittent fasting in the past and hated it, it's because your hormones weren't balanced and you were still eating a lot of processed foods like sugar and flour. When you are eating sugar and flour and you try to intermittent fast, it's a torture chamber. It's horrible because you're hangry and you still have those intense cravings. So I really like to recommend intermittent fasting with no sugar and no flour. You'll have such a better time. And so, of course, if you want to add that to your plan, you totally can. Okay, let's see what other question. What happens? Okay, Maritza is saying, wait, I can't read this. What's holding? I think there's a typo. Okay, I'm just going to interpret it. What happens if I'm hungry after 8? Can I make a low carb shake? You can do whatever you want. This is what this method is all about, is choice. But what I want you to do, and this is such a great question because what you're doing is something that we're going to do later this week, obstacles and strategies. What can get in the way of you honoring your plan and how are you going to handle that in the moment? So Maritza's like, I think I could get hungry after 8. Can I make a low carb shake? So I could say yes or no, but what I teach my clients to do is to use their intuition and to the data to answer that question. Okay, so can I make a low carb shake? Do you want to make a low carb shake if you're hungry? I like to encourage my clients to give themselves a week or 2 so that their hunger hormones balance out. Because if you're hungry after 8, it's probably hormonal hunger. Oh my God, my Instagram's going crazy. It's probably hormonal hunger. It's probably that crash. You're probably not truly physically hungry unless you've starved yourself that day. So Maritza, when would you have eaten dinner? And likely, what would that dinner consist of? Answer me that in the Q&A. Because if you're having, like at 6:30, you're having a pretty robust, nutritious, healthy meal, and then you're really hungry at 8:30, that's not true physical hunger. That's hormonal hunger. And so you may want to push through it. You may not want to push through it. It's totally up to you, right? It's totally up to you. There's no right or wrongs. There's just testing and retesting to see what serves you and what works for you now and for your future self, now and for the goal that you want to create. Does that make sense? Okay, I think we had some more. Okay. Stephanie, you're back. I love it, girlfriend. Okay, Stephanie says, I've lost weight eating all those things. Eating what things? She's saying it's slow. How slow? What does slow mean? Get this. Do you guys see? We really act like scientists. Your weight issue, problem, only you get to decide if it's an issue or problem, right? Not me. But your weight issue, like the reason you're here, is because you've been approaching this from a place, like just let me call you out for a second, of drama, not science. Of drama, not math. This is just a math problem. So what is slow mean? Is it a pound a week? Is it half a pound a week? Is it 2 pounds a month? Which would be a half pound a week, essentially. Right? She's like, I've lost motivation. Did you guys know that this might be one of the best nuggets from today? Did you know that you actually don't need motivation to lose weight? So crazy. No, what you need is the skills that I'm going to teach you and that I am teaching you here. And so I agree with you, Stephanie. I'm going to give it to you, girl. When you're losing weight, there is some momentum, but the momentum is coming from you. You're losing weight. Say you're losing weight at a clip that you really like, okay? There's this thing, again, we're going to get to this week as well. The thought, feeling, action, result loop, okay? So you're thinking, say you're losing at a clip that you like, let's say you like 2 pounds a week or 1 pound a week, okay? You're losing weight at 1 pound a week. You're saying to yourself, wow, this is really working. Wow, I really can do this. And then you feel motivated. That's your feeling. So you're thinking the sentence in your brain is, wow, this is really working. Wow, I really am doing this. And then you're feeling motivated. And then how are you acting? Thought, feeling, action. You're honoring your plan. The result, you keep losing a pound a week. So this isn't about like what's happening outside of you. It's about what you're thinking. Good news, you can think whatever you want, okay? Your thoughts are choices. The ones that you believe are choices. You get to entertain the ones that you want, and you get to throw the rest out. Seriously, did you guys know this? It's crazy. Don't believe everything you think, because then if you do, you're going to create actions you don't like. So if you are thinking, oh, this isn't working, this is so slow, I hate this, I want it to go faster. Now, I believe you. I get it. I've been there. But then you're going to feel demotivated or uninspired or defeated or disappointed. And then what are you going to do? Snack. Not out of your protocol. Little cheats. And then what? You're going to prove yourself right. It goes slow. Isn't that fascinating? That is a perfect example of the deep work that we do inside the Yummy Mummy experience, right? This is all about our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, all about root work habit change, all about neuroplasticity, all about emotional intelligence, okay? All science-backed, literally. Okay. Let's keep going, y'all. All right. So Stephanie, give me some more info. We'll keep coaching you. Raise your hands, you guys, if you do want to get coached. I will bring you on live and I will coach your booties up. It's so fun when people come on live with me. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Stephanie, give me some more data. How have you lost weight so far? Oh, and then you know what? Okay, someone else is saying, I'm doing these things, but I eat too much of them. So you might need to eat less of them. You're on to yourself, right? The amount of food that we think that we need as Americans is bananas. No pun intended. Freaking-nanas, you guys. We do not need all that food. Go to France. Go to Italy. Go over there. Very, very little portions. I tell my clients, I say, be Laura in Paris. I'm teasing. I'm totally teasing. But we eat too much of it. So what I would have you do, Stephanie, especially if you were in the Yummy Mummy, is we're not going to learn this tool this week, but we do teach a tool called the hunger scale. So I teach you how to tune in, once your hunger hormones are balanced, I teach you how to tune in to your satiety cues and to your hunger cues. A lot of us are eating when we're not hungry, and a lot of us are eating like way past satiety, too full. Like we're getting too full. We're just eating way more food than our body actually needs. That's actually a part of the definition of overeating. I remember when I was really learning about all this stuff and I was like, well, I'm not an overeater. I don't eat a pint of ice cream every night. I mean, sometimes, yeah, but And if you do, that's totally fine too. Like nothing wrong or bad. That's what our culture teaches us. You have a stressful day. Let's fix it. Let's make you feel better. I know it'll make you feel better. Ice cream. And it does. It makes you feel better in the moment. And then an hour later, it makes you feel like ass. And the next day, barf. And then a week later, gain 2 pounds. Ugh. Now, you can't gain 2 pounds from a pint of ice cream. But you guys get my point, right? So, where was I? Yes, eating too much of the thing. Okay? So, we do go into a deep dive on that inside the Yummy Mummy experience. But for you, Stephanie, for your plan for this week and beyond, because this is forever, for your plan, I would really like you to eat to sated versus full. And you may want to back end it, right? I have a lot of my clients start collecting data on like how full they are when they're done eating. But you can also back end it and just start eating like 20% less of what you normally eat, 30% less of what you normally eat. Don't go back for seconds. That's another huge thing that can help balance your hunger hormones, is like just making a deal with yourself that you're not going to go back for seconds. Almost every time we go back for seconds, it is an emotional eat, right? It's overeating. That's what I was saying before, is anytime you are eating and you're not hungry, it's an emotional eat. This is what part of the code that got cracked for me when I really understood this and learned this. I was like, oh, I am an overeater. Oh my God, I am an overeater because I'm eating when I'm not hungry, even if it's a healthy handful of almonds at 2:30 because I'm a little bored. Still an emotional eat, and that's still causing me to not weigh what I want. Crazy. So we really learn about that. We're going to learn about that this week too. Okay, get excited for this week. The content is so rich. I'm like packing as much as I possibly can into these 5 days so that you can get everything that you need. Okay, let's see. What about after workout? Can you recommend an after workout protein shake or whatever to help quell the after workout crash? I get really hungry if I start working out hard. Oh my God, this is one of my favorite questions. I'm obsessed. Okay. I want you to break up with working out as a way to lose weight, which this is this person who's writing in. Let's call her Lisa because she's an anonymous attendee. So Lisa, work out for all the health benefits. I work out every day. I already lifted heavy this morning. I love working out for the health benefits, for the mental health benefits, for my self-care. I'm obsessed with working out. I love it. Now, I used to work out I used to do like 2 a days, freaking 3 a days. I know. As a way to lose weight. It's the worst way to lose weight because then you're starving. So what kinds of workouts are you doing, Lisa, aka anonymous attendee? What kind of workouts are you doing? How old are you? I want to know. I got to get the data because I got to hear, right? I would just eat a meal. If you're super hungry after you work out, I would just eat a meal, plan to eat a meal. Lots of protein. I don't love shakes. You can eat shakes, but it's very processed. If you guys love shakes, eat your shakes. If they're wubbies for you, keep them. I'm just not a huge fan. I really believe that we should be chewing our food. I do. I think we should be the processing, not the factories. But I have so many clients that love their protein shakes, do their protein shakes, and weigh what they want, right? This is not about what I really think. It's about me helping you figure out what works for you. So that's what I would encourage you to do, anonymous attendee, aka Lisa. What do you think? Like, what do you want to eat? And then let's go test that. A lot of clients don't like that at the beginning. They don't like it. Well, can you just tell me? Yeah, I can tell you. But like, I don't know. I'm not in your body. So yeah, I can give you suggestions to test and retest. So Lisa, what would be one thing that you would want to test? Maybe a protein shake. Maybe just eating a meal. I would just eat a meal if you're super hungry. But I'm also wondering if you're doing crazy HIIT workouts and you're in an age range where I don't love HIIT workouts, right? I love lifting heavy. I love walking. I love yoga. I love dancing. But crazy intense HIIT workouts, if you're like 35 to 55, can really screw with your hormones. And there is data behind this. It can really screw with your cortisol. And the crash worries me. Like, I want you energized after your workout. I don't want you crashing after your workout. Again, just my preference. You get to decide what you like, what you want. Should we put quantities in our plans? Can you say more, Megan? What do you mean quantities? You totally can, right? Like, give me an example of quantities. How many hours should I leave between meals? Also up to you. Let's test and retest, right? So for me, what I like to do, I love to intermittent fast. I am obsessed with intermittent fasting. I find that I'm so I remember when I got pregnant with my second baby. So this is after I lost weight for the last time. I got pregnant with my second baby, and they don't recommend, the doctors don't recommend that you intermittent fast when you're pregnant. I was so bummed because you get so much energy from intermittent fasting. So for me, what I do is I eat at about 11, 12, or 1. I have my coffee in the morning. I have my coffee with half and half and a little bit of stevia. For weight loss purposes, I personally don't believe that that breaks your fast. So then I eat my first meal at, say, like 12 o'clock. And then I might do like a mini meal around like 4. And then I'll eat dinner at like 6. That's what I do. You get to do whatever you want. That's what I found works for me. And I know it can feel unsettling to be like, well, just test and retest. Yeah, because you're doing this forever and you have to figure out what works for you. All of my clients do something different. Now, I help them to plan out exactly what that's going to be. I'm going to hold their hand. We strategize together, and I help them interpret the data that they then inevitably collect. So for you, Maritza, if you're doing 3 meals, what about 9, 1, and 6? What about that? Start there. Also, you probably have certain schedules and you want to like eat around certain activities. Okay, so Stephanie's saying she's losing an average of 3 pounds a month. The brain work has never really clicked doing it by myself. Yeah, because you can't lose weight by yourself. Sorry. I mean, I'm not going to be blunt with you guys. We have something in our culture where it's like, I should be able to do this on my own. I should know better by now. No, you shouldn't be able to do it on your own. We are literally like, the human species is actually not meant to achieve goals and create things alone. We are a tribal species. We're supposed to do things together and help each other. So it is my deep belief that you cannot lose weight by yourself. And if the mindset stuff is not clicking, I will help you this week. Give me an example of where it doesn't click, where you need more help, and I will help you. But I mean, I'm going to tell you guys, most of you guys probably already know that most free challenges, they offer you something at the end. They invite you into their program. So I am going to invite you into the Yummy Mummy experience at the end. There's no pressure. I'm not going to sleazy sell you. But there's a reason why the Yummy Mummy experience exists, and it is a thriving community and business, because we can't do this alone. And to expect ourselves to be able to do this alone is just asinine. But it's not your fault that you think I should do this alone. That is the programming that we get in our upbringing. It just is. And it's just so backward. So I get very heated about this subject because we've been taught I should be able to do this alone. It's like, think of any other skill that you've developed ever. Like, you had help with that. You had massive help with that, right? Or anything like lacrosse. I played lacrosse in high school, right? I had lacrosse coaches, right? Conditioning coaches. I learned the skill of lacrosse and then I played it. And then somebody helped me to test and retest and iterate and reiterate so that I could get better and better and better and achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve within that sport. Same with business coach, right? Anything that you want, you probably have a coach or a teacher or a community that's helping you. So do not interpret help as a weakness. Getting help is a strength. It's so badass. Okay. So sorry, I just went on a tangent. I love you. Thank you for asking that question. I know I just went for it. Okay. Yes. So you do, I really think to get the brain work and the emotional work to click, you do need a 6-month container. But I'm going to pour my heart and soul into these 5 days and give you everything I possibly can. Okay. I do want to honor your guys' time. So I'll stay on for about 5 more minutes. I'm dedicating about an hour. We might go a little under one day. We might get a little over one day, but I'll finish answering the questions. I'll stay on 5-ish, 10-ish more minutes. And then I'll let you guys know what your homework is. I'll email you your homework and we will get started. I want you guys to be active, vibrant in the Facebook group. I want you guys emailing me if you have questions. We are going to have so much fun in that Facebook group. I might go live here and there if you guys are coming in with some really great questions. The more engaged you are, the more that you are going to get out of this week. Okay. So I will help you with the mindset stuff. I'm sure I'm eating too much because my brain says if I'm giving up sugar, flour, etc., I should be able to eat what I want in the time as long as it's on my plan. Again, my thoughts create the feelings. Yeah, exactly. I think you are getting it. Oops. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. My computer just popped a little, like somebody wanted to do a little huddle with me. Okay. So let me actually answer this question. So now you can see the thought, feeling, action. Can you guys see that? She's thinking, I should be able to eat what I want in the time, like in her eating window, as long as it's on my plan. And then she feels permissive and probably a desire for food. So she's thinking the thought. Thoughts are choices. Thoughts are just sentences in your brain. She no longer has to think or believe or entertain this thought unless she wants to. But I'll show you guys the result she's creating by thinking that, right? I should be able to eat what I want. So then she feels entitled, permissive, desire. So then what does she do? She eats what she wants, except for the sugar and flour. And then she keeps losing at a quip of 3 pounds a month. She wants to lose faster than that. So I would have, now you collected a lot of data. This is great. You should be really, really proud of yourself. I feel like you really are doing this. Okay. So here's the deal. We need a new thought. That thought's not working for you. Unless you want to keep losing 3 pounds a month, which isn't not horrible, right? But you probably, let's say you want to lose maybe double that, 6 pounds a month. So what could you think instead to eat less food and to lose 6 pounds a month? What could you think instead? I want to put that back on you. How do you want to feel? So I might say something like, wow, I collected some really good data. And now I know that if I keep eating this quantity, I'm not going to get the result that I want. So I'm going to eat 30% less at every meal and be willing to feel a little discomfort because my brain is going to seek pleasure and going to want to seek pleasure and going to want to avoid pain. So that's why I really teach my clients inside the Yummy Mummy experience. We have this whole practice on true pleasures and glimmer hunting and really going deep on the pleasure because so many of us are getting so much pleasure from food that it feels impossible to give up the wubby, right? So we need to replace the wubby with true pleasures, with things that actually give us the result that we want in our lives, okay? Because the food is a false pleasure. It gives you a net negative. It doesn't give you a net positive. And our brains are dopamine-seeking brains. They're going to find dopamine. They will. So I really teach my clients to be strategic about the dopamine that they give their brain, because if you don't give your brain any dopamine, it will get dopamine from food. It will. But if you're strategic about it and go for a walk with your friend, or you go to bed early with a book, or you fill in the blank with a true pleasure that gives you a net positive, you will win every time, most times as you practice. Okay. So for you, Stephanie, I think that you need to change your thought to, I have the data now, and now I'm willing to eat 20% less and see if that works. And then you feel curious and maybe you feel a little discomfort too, right? It will be a little uncomfortable. What I always tell my clients is discomfort is the currency for you weighing what you want, but you're already uncomfortable. So it's like, what type of discomfort do you want? Do you want the discomfort of staying the same, or do you want the discomfort of changing and moving towards your future self? So you may want to make a rule around that, Stephanie. So Jenny, I wonder I wonder how intense those workouts are. And if you have to keep doing those really intense workouts that are making you crash and are making you really hungry. Yeah. Okay. Megan. Yes. She's like, I'm asking about quantities for nuts or almond butter. I tend to eat more than I realize of these foods. Yeah. Then I would just put a rule around it. A rule, or you could call it rules, or you could call it standards, or you could call it guardrails, right? It's like we have rules and guardrails and laws and guiding principles because we want to create certain results, right? On my podcast last week, I was just talking about how our morning routine was not going very well. And so I had a result in my life that I did not like. There was like fighting and bickering and rushing and screaming and nobody was ready. And I was like, oh, this is a big problem. I hate this result line. So I worked my way up. And what did I do? I created a plan for the morning. Now we have a plan that we follow every single morning. And most mornings, it gives us the result that we want. If the plan doesn't go accordingly, I look back and I say, what happened there? Do we need to make any tweaks to the plan? Just what Megan is bringing up. So she is allowed, quote unquote, to eat nuts and nut butter. That's a part of her plan. That is a food or foods that are totally good to go. They are allowed on her plan. Okay. If you don't like the word allowed, we can change out the word. They are allowed on her plan. But she's noticing that she's eating more and she's kind of going a little bit unconscious. She's eating more than she really wants to be eating with those nuts and nut butter. So it just makes it easier for your brain. You guys, so much of this practice is a remembering practice. So many of us forget. We just forget that we want to lose weight in the moment when the food is there and our brains are trying to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Okay? So I literally teach you how to not forget. So one way you could do that is by being like, okay, here are the limits. And then it'll be easier to remember. I'm not asking you guys to weigh your food or to use some sort of crazy calorie tracker app. No. But it might help to have a rule if you want to create a certain result. Okay. Yeah, guardrails. Okay, you guys, that is our call for today. Look out on the Facebook group and in your email for your very special homework. You're going to love it. It's going to be fun work or fun it's going to be fun. Okay. It's only is fun. It's going to be really fun. We're going to share it in the Facebook group. We're going to get very engaged in there. If you have any questions, ask away in the Facebook group. We are there to support you and help you. And I hope you have the best day ever. Cheers to day one. I said it at the beginning of the call and I'll say it again. This is the first day of the rest of your life. I'm not kidding. If you let it be and you just don't quit, this will be the first day of the rest of your life. You can create whatever it is that you want to create in this one precious life. Okay. So let's get the weight out of the way so that we know what else is there for you. The emotional, physical, energetic, mental weight out of the way once and for all so you can live your one beautiful, big, precious life. You get one. Let's go out with a bang.